Hello viewers and welcome back to Stock Tech. Today we have come up with a new video, and this video is based on depth of market or market depth as you call it. A lot of people in the stock market have a question. Okay, where can I see the buyers and sellers data? How the stock prices move up? How the LTP or what you call the CMP, current market price of the stock, is determined. So in this video we have tried to cover all those points in a simple and basic layman's language so anybody can understand how the mechanism in the stock market work, how the prices move up, who brings the prices down. Okay, a lot of people have misconceptions that is the prices that are fluctuating every minute, every second are decided by some external body. No, this concept doesn't exactly work like that. These prices are completely derived based on demand and supply. So today we will be trying to understand how the prices move and how the entire mechanism works. So watch the video till the end, and please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like and comment on this video, and share it to all your contacts so everybody could be benefited out of this. Before we begin, let us go through the disclaimer. As you know, stock market investments are subjected to market risk, so we do not assure or guarantee any profits out of this video, anything that you learn from this video, and we would request that you do your own analysis, learn, and only then trade. Do also consult your financial advisor before taking any investment decisions, and also go through the disclaimer completely. So having said that, now let us understand the depth of market. So it's a very simple question. Who determines the current market price of the stock? Okay, who determines the current market price of the stock? If you have seen in the stock market, like I would just like to show you over here, you can see various stocks every minute, every second they are fluctuating. Okay, and every minute, every second they have fluctuations in their prices. So the question is, who decides this? So a lot of people have a lot of many misconceptions that the stock exchange decides it, or the SEBI decides it, okay, or there's some special body who's working and they decide it. But that is not the case. Okay, it is decided based on the demand and supply, that is the buying and the selling, right? So let us try to understand. Let us assume there's a stock, okay, and the stock is trading at 200 rupees. Okay, so let us assume there's a seller at 200. There is another seller who's willing to sell higher at 201. There is another seller willing to sell at 205, and we have another seller willing to sell at 210. Similarly, we have a buyer willing to buy at 200, another buyer willing to buy at 199, another buyer willing to buy at 195, and there's a buyer who's willing to buy at 190, right? So whenever there is a buyer and a seller at the same price, so the deal between them will be settled. So when the deal in between these guys is settled, the seller gets the amount, the buyer gets the stock. So now there is no deal at 200. The next seller is at 201 and the buyers are asking at 199. Now the difference between this, that is the first buyer, the highest bid, and the lowest ask, that is the lowest seller, is known as the spread, right? Okay, now here you will understand how the current market price of the stock changes. Okay, every time stock is represented with LTP, last traded price. So in this case, the last traded price of this particular stock will be 200 rupees because the last trade took place at 200 rupees, right? So now let us assume the buyer at 199 thinks, okay, I could have bought the stock at 200, but I did not buy it. Now the stock is available at 201. Let me jump up and buy the stock immediately, else somebody else may buy it. So thinking this buyer at 199 jumps up and buys the stock at 201, right? So the last trade now took place at 201. So the current market price of the stock will now be 201. Now let us assume the buyer at 195 panics. Oh, I could have bought it at 200,
No, I did not buy it. I could have bought it at 201. No, I did not buy it. But now I have an option where I can jump up and buy the stock at 205. Else if somebody else buys it, then I may have to buy even higher. So this guy at 195 jumps up and buys the stock at 205. So what is the LTP of the stock now? 205. Remember, LTP is equal to CMP. Similar thing. Okay, so now what happens? There is no sellers here, no buyers here. So now the buyer at 190 says, no, I'm not going to buy so high. I'm not going to buy so high. So this seller at 210 panics because there are no buyers. So let us assume he jumps down and sells at 199. So now the LTP of the stock will be 199. So this is how the price of a stock is decided based on the buyers and sellers. The variation, the spread is not so much, and if the spread is so much, you should not trade in that stock, not a healthy trading stock. So now let us see some in the live market. Okay, so let me go to a stock called MAN Aluminium. Okay, here in Zerodha you have the buy option, the sell option, and then you have the depth option. So when you click on the depth, now you can see the bids, that is the buyers, the sellers. So there are buyers. Okay, the stock is at 61.5. Okay, look at this. The stock is at 61.5. So if you try to sell, let us assume you have some stocks and you try to sell the stock will not be sold at 61.5 because the buyers are bidding to buy at 61.05. Okay, now if you want to buy the stock at 61.5 and you put a market order, the stocks will not be bought at 61.5 because the closest person is asking, seller is asking 61.6. So if you put a market order and try to buy the stock will be bought at 61.6. Okay, and not 61.5. 61.5 is the last traded price, the price at which the last trade took place, right? So that is your LTP, last traded price. Okay, now let us try to buy the stock. Okay, so I am going to the buy option. Let my quantity be 1. Okay, I am buying in the market. So when I'm trying to buy in the market option, it won't ask me for the price. It will buy from the closest seller. So who's the closest seller over here? The closest seller is at 61.6, right? So let me try to buy one stock in market. So you will see that the stock will be bought at 61.6. Yeah, I've placed my order. Okay, and the stock is bought. One quantity, average price at 61.6, current price also 61.6. So profit and loss is 0. Okay, now I'll try to sell the stock in market order. So when I'm trying to exit, that is sell the stock, you will be seeing that the stock will not, you can see last traded price now 61.6 because I took the trade, right? Now if I'm trying to sell the stock will not be sold at 61.6. This is the current last traded price. Okay, but the buyers are asking at 61.05. So I'll be in a loss of 55 paise. So let me say market and let me sell it for you, right? You can see that I made a loss of 55 paise per stock. So when you trade, you have to always watch the market depth. So here there's bidders at 61.05, 61, 60.80. So orders is number of people who have placed the orders, or you can see number of orders, and this is the quantity. So you can assume it like this: at 61.05 there is one person, one order means one person, let us assume, and he has placed a buy order for 3 stocks, 3 quantity. At 61 there's one person who has placed a buy order for 50 stocks. At 60.8 there are 2 people who have placed a buy order for 40 stocks. At 60.75 2 people who have placed orders for 1020 stocks. Similarly, the sellers at 61.50 one order, one quantity. Now see, I sold my stock in market, so the stock got sold at 61.05. Now you can see how the market price came down to 61.05, right? Because I sold it in market and it got sold to the closest buyer. So this is showing as the LTP. Now let me try to buy one stock. Okay, again in market. So my stock will not be bought at 61.05. It will be bought at 61.50. Okay, so market, one quantity, buy order. See this, stock got bought again, and here you can see the LTP again increases because the last trade took place at 61.50. Now let me exit it again. Okay, so I'll say market, and you can see 61.05 because the stock got sold over this price. So if the buyers aggressively start climbing up and buying, the LTP will start going up, whereas if the sellers panic and start coming down and selling, the LTP of the stock will go down. Okay, so understanding this is very important. So now total buy orders, okay, pending orders, whatever executed is shown in the volume. Okay, I'll just come to that. First, you can see that there are 15,292 buy orders pending. Okay, and 3,472 sell orders pending, right? Quantities. These are quantities. Okay, so 15,292 quantities waiting to be bought, 3,472 quantities waiting to be sold, right? Now, these are the unsettled orders because their prices have not matched. One is bargaining, the other is not willing to give at that price, so not matching. But whatever prices have matched since morning, that is your volume. So till the current time, that is 12:26, okay, the volume is 825, which means 825 stocks were bought and sold since morning. That is your settled orders. Your settled orders is known as the volume. So your volume would be defined as number of stocks traded. That is the settled orders between buyers and sellers. So in this case, MAN Aluminum, this is a old screenshot. You can see highest buyer is bidding at 61 and the lowest seller is willing to sell at 62. So the spread in the stock would be 1 rupee, right? So the spread in the stock would be 1 rupee. Total number of buy orders that are pending are 12,393 buy orders and 2,846 sell orders. Okay, since morning, the screenshot was taken at 9:30. So market started at 9:15 and till 9:30 only 16 stocks were settled. That is, sellers sold only 16 stocks and the buyers bought only 16 stocks. So your volume is 16 stocks. So that would be the settled order. So that is known as your volume, right? Higher the volume, the better it is for tradings. So basically different stocks have different volumes. Let us just see that. Okay, so we saw MAN Aluminum. Let us see Reliance Industries. So if I go to Reliance Industries, you can see there are almost 3 lakh buy orders, okay, and 17 lakh sell orders. So you can see there is a negative pressure on the stock. There are more sellers than buyers, and you can see the stock is also going down. You can see the buyers are asking at 1556.50. Sellers are willing to sell at 1556.70. So the spread in the stock is like just 0.5 paise. See, such a costly stock, yet the spread is just 0.5 paise. Okay, not even 0.5, sorry, 0.05 paise. Okay, now it's 0.02 paise, 0.15 paise. Okay, so the different spreads. Okay, but in the stock, you can see the spread is very high. Okay, so this is for Reliance Industries. Now let me show you some other stocks like JP Associates. You can see there are only buyers in this particular stock. No sellers, zero sellers, right? And the stock is today 9.3% up. So what is this? Okay, here on the lower end, I have some values known as lower circuit and something known as upper circuit. Okay, so every stock has this. So for MAN Aluminum currently trading at 61, but the lower circuit is 48 and upper circuit is 73. So what is this lower circuit and upper circuit that we are talking about? Okay, so lower circuit and upper circuit is something which restricts the movement of the stock after that particular price. Okay, it's a price band from lower circuit to the upper circuit is the price band in which the stock can move. Below 21.55 on that particular day, the stock is not allowed to go, and above 32.25, the stock is not supposed to move. There are some exceptions to this, but now let us not consider them. So upper circuit is like a roof for this stock. If something jumps up, it can only hit the roof. If something falls down, it can only fall to the floor. So the lower circuit is the floor. So on a particular day, for example, today, right, Man Aluminium, even if it rallies, it cannot rally beyond 73, and even if it falls drastically, it cannot fall below 48.75. I told you there are some exceptions, we will see them later on, right? So this is known as your upper circuit and lower circuit value. Now JP Associates has already hit the upper circuit. You can see the upper circuit value was 2.35 and the stock is now at 2.35 and there's no seller in the stock. Okay, which is very good for the stock. The stock may open. This only happens when the stock rallies and reaches the upper circuit. Nobody is willing to sell, everybody willing to buy. There are so many 1 CR plus buy orders pending in the stock. So why this is happening and what is the impact of this on the stock? The impact of the stock on the stock would be a gap up opening the next day. Okay, the stock has closed at 2.35, so tomorrow you can expect some gap up opening in the stock if such a scenario appears. 90% of the time you will get a gap up opening. So what people tend to do, those who have bought it today, will try to take this trade for BTST. That is, they have bought it today and they will be willing to sell it tomorrow morning. After it opens tomorrow morning, right, let me go to the chart. Today it has closed 2.35. Tomorrow it may take a gap up and open somewhere over here. Okay, you never know how much gap up it's gonna take. Okay, even after opening gap up, you never know what it's gonna do, whether it's gonna come down or whether it's gonna go up. But people take these trades, you know, so that they can make overnight gains. The target here is overnight gains. Like here, previously, last time you can see it made a big candle and it's a Marubozu candle. We'll see that later. So this candle appears only when the stock hits the upper circuit, and next day 2.95 to a gap up of 3.20. So almost 0.25 gains. That's almost 10% jump, right, overnight. So this is targeted for the same reason. This is the case in JP Associates. Now the next stock, that is IBUL ISL. So let me open the depth. Okay, it's again in an upper circuit. Okay, I'll go to the next stock, Kridanin. Okay, so if I open this stock, in this case you can see there are only sellers and no buyers at all. There are only sellers and no buyers. So it means that the stock is now in lower circuit. The stock is now in lower circuit, and for quite few days it has been in the lower circuit. Okay, so now even if you had the stocks, let us assume you have the stocks and you want to sell them, you will not be able to sell them because it has already hit the lowest value of the day. Okay, now even if you want to sell it, you cannot sell it. Your upper circuit and lower circuit. So we have understood the market model, how the price fluctuation takes place and how all these things work. Now let us see Tata Motors. Okay, one example, last example. Okay, let me go to Tata Motors. So now I'll go to the market depth. Okay, as you can see, the stock is trading around 164.15. Buyers willing to buy at 164.10. Sellers willing to sell at 164.15. So you can see very healthy trading of with a spread of just 0.05. Right. The lower circuit for the stock is 148, and the upper circuit for the stock is 181. But you can see there are more sellers and less buyers. Negative impact on the stock. Right. So this is the actual understanding of the depth. Okay, if you want to learn how to make use of it for your trading purpose, then you will have to join our trainings. Okay guys, now let us try to understand what an upper circuit is. So we'll be understanding the upper circuit and lower circuit, right? So this is your lower circuit value for this particular stock of 25.85, whereas the upper circuit value is 31.55. right, 31.55. Now this particular stock, Auto Industries, okay, is currently trading at 31 rupees 50 paise. So when I go to the depth of the stock, as you can clearly see, the buyers in the stock are increasing, though the volumes are not very good, but you can see the sellers almost are exhausting out of the stock. There are no sellers. There's only sellers at 31.55. That to four orders of selling orders of 1900 quantity of stocks. Right. So this stock has reached the upper circuit. So what does this mean? This means that the highest value the stock can go up to today is 31.55. Okay. Now you can see some new buyers are arriving at 31.5. But again, the stocks looks good at 31.555. It's the highest value above which the stock cannot go for today. So once the sellers exhaust, that is the buyers, they climb up and buy the stock, and all the sellers at exhausted at 31.5, 31.55, then there will be no sellers in the stock. And once there are no sellers in the stock and the stock has hit the upper circuit of 31.55, then there are very high chances of a gap up opening the next day. Okay, how much gap up you're gonna get? Okay, that cannot be said, but it is sure that there are very high chances of a gap up opening today. Now you can see Jain Irrigation has already hit the upper circuit. You can see there are 16 lakh buyers in this particular stock. Yes, buy orders in this particular stock, whereas there is not a single seller. Okay, so the stock is already into an upper circuit. I mean, only buyers, no sellers at all. Whereas here you can see the buyers are almost exhausting. So in a while we may also see an upper circuit in auto industries. Okay, welcome back, and it's around 15:26. The market is about to close, and we are seeing the stock since morning, that is auto industries. And now you can see that the stock, there are no sellers, and the stock is closed in upper circuit. Okay, so we bought it when there were sellers. So I have somewhere around 781 quantities that I just showed you previously, that how we bought it. I have bought another stock, that is JP Associates, which is also into the upper circuit. 1 crore buying orders are pending. That's 1 crore 11 lakh 27,800 and counting, 12 and counting, right? No sell orders. Similarly, so today we have bought two stocks that have hit the upper second, and tomorrow we would be expecting some gap up gains from the stocks, right? So this is how you can make use of stocks that are hitting the upper circuit. Thank you.
To join our free WhatsApp group, call 7829295555 or visit www.stocktech.in.